Okay, with the holidays coming around, I thought it might be fun to make shortbread cookies in the shape of gingerbread men. It only takes 4 ingredients: sugar, butter, flour, and cornstarch. Sounds pretty easy so far, doesn't it? Okay, so you're going to use a cup of flour, and then 1/3 cup of sugar, and 1/3 cup of cornstarch. And here I'm going to spoon it into my measuring cup because it can really fly all over the kitchen and make a big mess, and I don't really want to clean up a big mess. So I have all the dry ingredients into my bowl, and I'm going to move it around, kind of incorporate it all together, I guess is what you would say with a fork. And then I'm going to add my butter, and I use a stick of softened butter. You can either put it in the microwave and soften it, or put it on the counter and just wait until it gets nice and soft. But here it is, very nice and soft. I'm not going to use my fork, I'm going to use my fingers. Sometimes the best kitchen utensil is your hands, and that's true here. So I'm just going to mix all the dry into the butter until I have a nice dough. It's a dry dough, so don't let that really worry you. You tip it out and wrap it in plastic wrap. That is, if you can get it off the roll. Come on. Oh my. Okay, once you get it in the plastic wrap, you're just going to pop the whole thing in the refrigerator for about a half hour. 15 minutes is probably okay. So as you can see, when it comes out of the refrigerator, it's very stiff. So you're just going to have a little patience here and carefully roll that dough out. They say that patience is a virtue, so here we go. You want to roll it out to be about 1/8 of an inch thick, I think. And don't worry if you have little craters like that. When you use your cookie cutter, you can kind of maneuver around it. Just keep rolling until it's nice and smooth and about 1/8 of an inch thick. Okay, I see a little piece of dough off to the side, so I'm going to go ahead and use that piece to fill in my crater, and that's perfectly fine too if that happens. Alright, here's a cute little cookie cutter that I've had around for quite some time, and it's a little gingerbread man, and I've made gingerbread with it, but this time I'm going to make shortbread cookies. You just cut it out, put it on your sheet pan. And you want to do this with all the dough that you have. Cut it, give it a little wiggle. That'll loosen it up from the rest of the dough. And then you just take your spatula and scoop it up. Now I'm going to try to do something here. Let's see. Broke his arm. Just squeeze it down. When you put it on the sheet pan, you can just fix it a little bit. So don't worry if you break an arm or a leg. It's very easy to fix. You haven't ruined it. So take your cookie cutter and just one by one, cut it out and pop it onto your cookie sheet or baking pan, whatever you have. Now once you get through all the dough, just mush it back together and roll it out and keep cutting the cookies. This recipe will give you 12 cookies. Before you can cook them, you have to take a fork and just punch little holes into it with a fork. That way they won't bubble up. They'll be nice flat little cookies, delicious little cookies. And there they are, ready for the oven. They've all been punctured with a fork. So you put it on for 325 degrees for 20 to 25 minutes. And when they're done, they look pretty much the same as when you put them in. They'll be light, just golden around the edges. Now we're going to take a half a bag of butterscotch chips. And to that we're going to add about a teaspoon, maybe a little bit more, I'm just going to eyeball it here, of oil. And then we just put it in the microwave oven for 30 seconds. If you put it in too long, it'll seize up your candy, and that's no good. When you get it out of the microwave oven, it'll look exactly the same as when you put it in, but the jar will be, or the bowl will be warm. So just keep stirring it until it's nice and smooth. This looks pretty nice and smooth. Here's the fun part. Just going to grab a cookie and dip it into the butterscotch. Oh, there are some lumps. And then spoon it on. So there's his little mittens, his little snow pants. And just keep doing that. You can put little boots on him. If you want to have full-on pants, just put a little more butterscotch on there. Here's his little hands. You can pretty much do whatever you want. And you can use chocolate too. If you don't like butterscotch, just do the same thing with chocolate. So now I have a little bit of extra. I took the parchment and rolled it into a cone and put all my little cookies back on the cooking sheet. I'm going to put all the extra butterscotch into the parchment cone. Squeeze it down. Then I'm just going to put on 2 little eyes and a mouth onto each cookie. Here's a little eye. I just cut a little hole in the bottom of the parchment cone, and that's how I got it like that. And of course my camera is going icky, but all you can see is the back of my hand anyway, so aren't they cute though? So there you have it. Shortbread cookies with melted butterscotch. Oh, so yummy and cute. So if you like these recipes, please subscribe to my channel below. Thank you. Have a great day.